All right. That's the big five. Five biggest games on the schedule that are not Ravens games this week. So let's go over the NFL Week 14 games that we covered last week as far as the big five as well. As soon as the game ended in Kansas City, I was going to think, man, they're going to say, here come the conspiracy theories when he hit the field goal and then doinked off and everything like that. I don't think there's any great conspiracy theories in Kansas City. Kansas City, I'm giving him heat. I'm giving Mahomes some more heat. They are not moving the ball well at all. Defense is keeping them in games. They're moving it very incrementally. There's almost nothing downfield. Their tackles are looking worse. They played another tackle, DJ Humphrey, at tackle. So there's some issues for them on offense. But defensively, they've been very good. I think as much as they get credit for being good situation on offense, they're really good situationally on defense. Falcons and the Vikings. Vikings aren't any joke, man. I mean, this is a team, man. They're every week getting 40 points, 30 points. They're scoring. Darnold, I think, is really moving towards an extension the way he's played, as much as that sounds. So even though you drafted JJ McCarthy, I definitely think you're looking at a guy, Sam Darnold, who's been outstanding for them. Falcons, I think, kind of are what they thought they were. I think Falcons, they're a good team, but I think they're in a bad division. I don't know if they're going to hang on and beat Tampa Bay. I think they should because the schedule's so bad, so easy. They should go ahead and hang on. Seahawks starting to separate themselves from the Cardinals and the rest of that division. They're ahead 7-5. Kyler Murray, two INTs, not consistent enough. Not consistent enough. I think that's a real tragedy with his athletic ability at times. Uh, Not consistent enough. I think that's probably what's costing them. I think they slipped back. Um, I think that might have been one of the best games I've ever seen last week. The Bills and the Rams, the 4 o'clock game, was fantastic. I don't think any less of the Bills after the loss. I think the Rams. I will say this about the Rams, and I've noticed this: they absolutely play with discipline. Same way a lot the Patriots did. Looked it up. They do not get a lot of flags. I think they're one of the lowest team in the league consistently in penalties. Their offense and their defense is very simple. Very simple. They run the same 6 run plays and it works. They run a lot of motion, but they don't they kind of disguise it. But their offensive defensive schemes are very, very simple. They don't do a lot of odd stuff, a lot of wagon, stuff like that. And the Lions, I think, sweep past the Packers in the Thursday night game. I think the Lions are the best team in the NFC as well. Packers are right there. I'm not so sure the Packers aren't good this year. I think we keep hearing the Packers maybe not quite ready for Super Bowl. That was a pretty close game on the road against a team I think that's going to win the Super Bowl. Has a shot at least winning the Super Bowl, not necessarily win the Super Bowl. And they were good. So let's go to this week's games as well. The Packers field with the great Packers and the Seahawks. Seahawks are really rolling here lately. I think Geno Smith has really played well down the stretch. I think what's happened too with the Seahawks as well, offensively early in the year, they kind of struggled offensive. Not they didn't well offensively they were pretty good. They were decent enough. But I think defensively they've really tightened up. Mike McDonald's defense really has gotten better. They only gave up 18 points last week to Arizona. I think they've been their stats, everything has been going down here lately as well. I think this is a really good team. Packers, same, equally impressed. Packers took a narrow loss as well. Romeo Dobbs, I think, is outstanding. Christian Watson, I've always liked. Just got to keep him healthy on the field. Their offensive line is solid. The run game is fantastic. Jordan Love, I don't know whether I like him or not. Sometimes I think he's really good, obviously, I thought in the Lions game he had some good numbers. What he was what 12, 206 yards, one TD. They kind of taken the ball out of his hands a little bit. They kind of run the ball more with him. But I do like the Packers in this one. I do think they are had. I think they just have a better team. They're I think they can go win a road game. I don't think the Seahawks have been better. Probably probably the best team in the division, but this is pretty big for playoff positioning and all that. Seahawks still need to win their division, I think, as well. I think the West is going to be clustered right all the way to the end. Colts and the Broncos. This is pretty much going to be an eliminator for the Colts. I think the AFC playoff picture, we kind of know. You have in the wild card spot, you have the Ravens there, the Broncos there, and the Chargers there in that AFC wild card spot. I think the only other team I think with the shots are the Colts and the Dolphins. I think the Colts lose here. I think I don't see them catching any of those teams. They're like 2 games behind, and I think you're pretty much out of time, realistically, especially if you lose to Denver here. Um, I got nothing but good things to say about Denver. Bo Nix has been getting better week after week after week. I think defensively, I like the way they play. They kind of like what I see with the Rams that I was just talking about. I kind of see the same thing with the Denver Broncos. They kind of play with a lot of discipline. They play very smart. They don't have a lot of marquee names except for Pat Surtain, but they absolutely consistently get points, stop defenses consistently week after week. Um, weren't so good in their last game against the Browns, but they've been really good. I do think they win this game. I think the Colts are making a mistake playing Anthony Richardson. I'm kind of at the point with him. I've seen that they should be playing Flacco, even though he didn't light up the world. I think Denver gets in the playoffs eventually, not this week, and I do think they beat the Colts at home. Very tough to play in at altitude in Denver though as well. Battle of PA, the two teams, two of the most interesting franchises in the National Football League. The Steelers, I think this is their biggest test, I think, all season long, playing the Eagles and playing the Philadelphia Eagles. Really like Philly in this one. Not because I don't like the Squealers, and I don't, but I think they're just our superior team. I keep, despite what I feel about the Steelers and not being a fan, I'm really trying to be more objective and see if I'm missing anything. Sometimes when you don't like a team or you don't like something or you don't like, sometimes what I try and do is be more objective in a way. Like, am I missing something? Their offense is just mediocre. They don't do well against a good. I do not see a scenario where their offense can keep up with this defense that Philly has. Jaden Carter up front, it's been fantastic. Jordan Davis up front. Uh, Zach Braun, the Kobe Dean have been fantastic as well. Their young corners, I think Philly, I think is really good this year. I definitely think they're fantastic. I don't see a scenario. I do think the scenario, the Steelers defense, it's really good. I don't think it's I don't think it's going to be very difficult to stop Saquon. That tush push that they run is about the most unstoppable thing I've ever seen. I think Saquon and his offense is really going. Jalen Hurts has been decent enough. I don't think Jalen Hurts is a stud quarterback, but and I don't know what's going on with him and AJ Brown with the arguing or whatever is going on, but really good stuff. I like the Eagles in this one. Tampa Bay and the Chargers. Tampa Bay, I think, is outstanding. Um, the fact that they're in the hunt, considering the circumstances they've been under, I think is really something. Baker Mayfield, I think, is one of the better reclamations in the entire National Football League in the last 15 years. Where he started, his expectations, kind of seen as a bust, had to overcome things, come back, got cut, taking his team again in playoff position. So that's something. I think the Chargers, though, I just know what they are. I know exactly what they are. Very came close to winning that game in Arrowhead last week. They do have. It doesn't matter that Dobbins is hurt, not going to play. Gus Edwards should play. I know exactly. They probably maybe now have the best offensive tackle combination in the entire league. When you talk about uh, uh, Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater, defense I think is first rate. I don't think the Bucs score a lot of points, even though they have been scoring points as well. But I like the Chargers at home over Tampa. Game of the weekend, I think this could be a Super Bowl preview. I think of the big game at the end, Bills and the Lions as well in this weekend. So if you look at our channel here, our open mic for Drive to the Top Productions, I was talking about this game last night a little bit. Definitely with a Lions fan. Um, I really am not sure where to go here because I think these two teams. One thing you didn't hear me say is I'm not sure where to go here with this one. I think Josh Allen is right now just on another level, and that's the only thing that I have to kind of lean on. I think where I think the Bills do win the game. I think the Bills also too are going to be very motivated to go in and win. Just kind of a little inkling of that. I think Josh Allen is really going well right now. He wasn't the reason they lost last week as well. Bills defense has surprised me. They're going to have to though play better than what I saw last week defensively. They're going to have to actually go ahead and play better than what I saw last week. Big Nate Sports Talk is going with the Lions. I don't think so. I don't think it's the Lions in this one. Josh Allen is the MVP of the game. I agree. I think Josh Allen, is the best quarterback, not named Lamar Jackson right now in the NFL. I like the Lions in this one. I like the Bills. I think the Bills win it. I think the Lions defense has been good. I think they have been. This is a real offense here you're playing this week. this is the machine here you're playing with the Lions and the Bills this week. Be an outstanding game. Outstanding game. There you go. Big Five. All right. So enjoy all the games this weekend with the Lions playing the Bills. Outstanding this weekend. All right.